You're born sometime around 500 BC in ancient Greece. And unlike most children, your future has already been decided. One day, kings will cross mountains just to hear you speak. Generals will delay wars because of your words. Entire cities will gamble their futures on a single sentence that comes out of your mouth. People will call you the voice of a god. Sounds incredible. There's just one problem. One day you're going to give a prophecy that gets thousands of people killed. And no matter what happens afterward, everyone will blame you. But that's still years away. Right now you're just a little girl living near Delphi, a mountain sanctuary that many Greeks believe sits at the center of the world itself. According to legend, Zeus released two eagles from opposite ends of the earth. The birds met above Delphi. Case closed. Universe located. Conveniently, this also makes Delphi one of the most important religious sites in Greece. Every day, people arrive seeking something from the gods. A blessing, a cure, a sign, a miracle. Most leave disappointed. A few leave terrified. You spend your childhood watching them climb the sacred road toward Apollo's temple. Some bring gold. Others bring animals. One man drags an entire cow up a mountain. You don't know why. The cow seems equally confused. Life itself isn't bad. Your family isn't wealthy, but you're fed. You help fetch water, assist with chores, learn local rituals. Try not to annoy your parents. Pretty standard by ancient Greek standards. Except for one thing. People keep staring at you. Priests especially. At first you ignore it. Then one day you overhear a conversation. She may be suitable. Suitable for what? Nobody explains. But the visits continue. Every few months priests return. Each visit makes your parents more nervous. Eventually you learn why. The Oracle of Delphi is growing old. And Apollo supposedly needs a new voice. Congratulations. You've been chosen. Not that anyone asked your opinion. There are no applications. No interviews. No opportunity to decline. The temple believes you're fit to become the next Pythia. The Oracle. The woman through whom Apollo himself supposedly speaks. To outsiders, it sounds like the greatest honor imaginable. Then training begins. And suddenly becoming a shepherd sounds fantastic. You spend years memorizing prayers, rituals, offerings, traditions, and ceremonial procedures. Every word matters. Every gesture matters. One mistake, and nobody blames the priests. They blame the Oracle. You. The pressure is crushing. And you haven't even started the job yet. As you grow older, you begin understanding how much power Delphi actually holds. This isn't merely a temple. It's the closest thing Greece has to an international headquarters. Representatives from Sparta, Athens, Corinth, and Thebes all come here. Before wars, before alliances, before major decisions. Everyone wants Apollo's approval. And one day they'll want yours. That's when you discover something disturbing. Most visitors aren't looking for guidance. They're looking for validation. They've already made their decision. They simply want a god to agree with it. If Apollo supports them, wonderful. If Apollo doesn't, that somehow becomes your fault. Eventually your predecessor becomes too old to continue. The transition begins. Priests whisper. Pilgrims speculate. The entire sanctuary buzzes with anticipation. Soon Delphi will have a new oracle. Soon that oracle will be you. And that's when you learn the biggest secret of all. Being the oracle isn't a role. It's your entire life. You don't get privacy. You don't get vacations. You don't really get an identity beyond the temple. The moment you become oracle, you stop belonging to yourself. You belong to Apollo. Or at least that's what everyone expects. The ceremony arrives. Thousands gather. Offerings pile high. Sacred fires burn. Priests chant. The atmosphere feels electric. Then the moment comes. You descend into the chamber beneath the temple. The place where divine visions supposedly occur. The place where gods speak. The place that will define the rest of your life. As the stone door closes behind you, a terrifying thought enters your mind. What if Apollo never speaks at all? What if everyone is wrong? What if the most important religious institution in Greece is built on uncertainty? Unfortunately, you don't have time to think about it. Because above you, visitors are already waiting. And the first question may determine the fate of entire nations. No pressure. Your first years as oracle pass in a blur. Merchants ask about voyages. Farmers ask about weather. Nobles ask about inheritance. Husbands ask questions they should probably be asking their wives instead. The pattern quickly becomes obvious. If your advice works, Apollo gets credit. If it fails, you get blamed. So you learn the secret behind successful prophecy. Be memorable. Be mysterious. Never be specific. Somehow it works. People leave satisfied. Your reputation grows. Then it explodes. Soon kings arrive. Entire entourages fill the mountain roads. Servants carry gold, silver, jewels, and gifts worth more than entire villages. One ruler practically attempts to bribe Apollo himself. The temple accepts the donation with remarkable enthusiasm. Funny how divine wisdom appreciates expensive offerings. Before long you're no longer advising individuals. You're advising nations. And that's terrifying. One wrong prophecy no longer affects a single family. It can affect thousands of lives. Maybe tens of thousands. Every answer feels like balancing on a rope stretched across a canyon. One mistake, and everything collapses. And that's where everything gets complicated. Because generals don't come with simple questions. They come with impossible ones. Should we attack? Should we retreat? Will we win? Will we survive? And unlike the farmer worried about rain, a general's wrong answer doesn't just ruin a harvest. It ends civilizations. One morning a king arrives who makes all previous visitors look modest. His name is Croesus, king of Lydia, possibly the richest man alive. His gifts alone fill 3 temple storerooms. Gold statues, silver bowls the size of bathtubs. More treasure than most cities see in a decade. He has one question. Should he attack the Persian Empire? The consultation begins. You descend again into the chamber. The fumes rise. The trance comes. Words leave your mouth. If Croesus crosses the Halys River, a great empire will be destroyed. The priests translate. Croesus hears exactly what he wanted. He attacks. His own empire falls. Persia swallows Lydia whole. Croesus is captured. Thousands are dead. And technically you were right. A great empire was destroyed. The prophecy was perfect. The interpretation was catastrophic. Nobody calls it brilliant ambiguity. They call it your fault. Croesus himself sends a furious message back to Delphi. You answer with something that has survived 3,000 years. Apollo did not lie. Croesus did not ask which empire. The logic is flawless. The people are still dead. And that is the unbearable truth of being Oracle. You cannot be wrong. But you can never fully be right either. The years press on. Your body starts paying the price. Sitting above those fissures repeatedly, breathing what rises from the earth, takes something from you. Energy that doesn't come back. Clarity that blurs at the edges. You sleep longer. You eat less. The consultation days exhaust you in ways they didn't before. But the pilgrims don't stop. They never stop. And neither do the questions. More kings. More generals. More desperate people gambling entire futures on the words that come out of you in a trance. Decades pass. Empires rise and fall partly on your words. Alexander the Great comes. You try to dismiss him. He grabs your arm and pulls you toward the temple. You say, almost involuntarily, "You are invincible, my son." He takes it as prophecy, marches east, conquers half the known world. Another prophecy fulfilled. Another army of dead you didn't ask to create. One morning something shifts. The stream of pilgrims has thinned. The offerings less impressive than before. The world is changing. New religions are spreading. The old gods are losing their grip. You can feel it. The sacred spring seems quieter. The fissures produce less. Or maybe you simply feel less. Then one morning a messenger arrives from Rome. The Emperor Julian. The last pagan emperor. He wants a prophecy. One final consultation from the Oracle of Delphi. You descend into the chamber. Sit above the fissures. Wait. And this time what comes is not a riddle. Not an ambiguity. Not a masterfully vague sentence for kings to interpret however suits them. What comes is a goodbye. Tell the emperor the glorious hall has fallen. Apollo has no shelter. No sacred laurel. No prophetic spring. The water has run dry. Even the talking reeds are gone. You climb back up the steps for the last time. The messenger takes the words to Julian. Julian dies in battle months later. Christianity becomes the empire's religion. Delphi closes. 1,000 years of prophecy. Ended. Just like that. You gave everything. Your name. Your freedom. Your body. Your years. And history remembered every word. But almost none of the women who spoke them. The oracle. The instrument. The voice. Not even a name on most of the scrolls. But somewhere, carved into stone and memory, and the very idea of what it means to speak truth to power, you are still there. You always will be.